Ladies and gentlemen, it finally happened. The Supreme Court just dropped the ruling that Democrats feared more than anything else, and Washington is in total panic mode because after decades of hiding behind the words civil rights, after carving America into political puzzle pieces based on skin color and party loyalty, the court just called their bluff. In fact, that's right, guys. The so-called voting rights loophole that's been shielding race-based maps for like half a century, gone, finished, over. And tonight, the Democrats' carefully engineered gerrymander machine, the one that's kept them clinging to power, well, it just blew up in their face. You can practically feel the shockwaves that are rolling through Baton Rouge to Austin, Texas, to the DNC headquarters itself. They already know what's coming next. The redrawing of the maps, the loss of seats, and the end of their demographic advantage forever. So do not blink, because this is not just another legal headline, guys. This is the beginning of a political earthquake that will reshape 2026 and decide who runs America for the next decade. Now, I'm going to go ahead and break it all down for you guys, what the ruling really means and how it happened and why this moment just changed everything. So stick with me, because this is the one that the media doesn't want you to understand. Hit the like button, subscribe, guys. All right, I want to go ahead and start with what's actually happening right now, okay? Because this Louisiana case here isn't just another courtroom headline. It is the political earthquake of the decade. Now, the Supreme Court just agreed to rehear a challenge to Louisiana's congressional map. This is the same one the Democrats have been defending under Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Now, that particular section, which was written back in 1965, was meant in order to stop states from diluting minority votes. But over time, Democrats, they saw the loophole. So Democrats, they basically twisted it into a racial gerrymandering mandate, forcing states to carve out majority-minority district. Kind of like even the numbers didn't even make any sense. Anyway, so now here's the bombshell. The court already looked at the case last term, and instead of ruling, they brought it back. Now, this is very, very rare. It's almost unheard of. In fact, it means that the justices are seeing something much bigger at stake than Louisiana alone. In fact, this rehearing actually tells you that they're ready to test whether Section 2 itself still belongs in modern law. Now, they're not just redrawing one map. No, they're redrawing the boundaries of federal power. Now, this is massive. And this isn't just happening in a vacuum. In fact, you guys remember Shelby County versus Holder 2013? Well, the ruling ultimately gutted pre-clearance under Section 5. And that was just the warm-up. This is the main event. In fact, if Shelby clipped the wings of Washington's election control, well, this one could tear down the entire cage. The timing couldn't be any more explosive, and Trump back in the White House, a very solid conservative majority on the bench, and while the Democrats watching their decades-long advantage are slipping through their fingers, and there's nothing that they can do about it. So what does this mean when we say that the court is ending the racial gerrymander scheme? Well, it means that the law will finally treat every voter the same. No more drawing lines to guarantee outcomes. So for years, Democrats have used race like a paintbrush, stretching these districts across counties, across rivers, and even highways just to kind of lock in some safe seats. Now, these weren't communities. They were engineered demographics. Ending that scheme restores the Constitution's promise of one person, one vote. No special carve-outs, no forced racial math. If the ruling stands, state legislatures, especially in Texas, Georgia, and Louisiana, will have freedom to map by population, not by pigmentation. So that single shift could dismantle the Democrats' map machine and return elections to what they were really meant to be: competitive, representative, and colorblind. Now, the biggest mistake that retirees are making today with Medicare, it's waiting. Now, meanwhile, while they're waiting, the plans are changing. They're waiting until their bills pile up, and then it almost creates this tsunami of problems for them. Let me just cut to the chase. Waiting until it's too late is highly dangerous. And so this is why I partner with Chapter, because they help you to review your Medicare plan now before the problems show up. And one of our viewers, she said, I waited too long, but Chapter still helped me fix my Medicare coverage. So let me ask you, are you just going to keep waiting? Or are you going to do what most people already are and taking action today? Now, most people, they're already dialing that phone number right there at the bottom of your screen, or they're visiting askchapter.org/Ron. Again, that phone number is 909-563-8279. And of course, this is a total free service for the Ron Yates community. Now, let's talk about the real heart of this case, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Now, this is the loophole that Democrats have used for like half a century in order to keep their claws sunk into Congress. It says that states cannot dilute minority votes, but Democrats and activist judges, they kind of warped that into meaning states must create minority-only districts, whether they make sense or not. So this is kind of how you get those twisted, snake-shaped districts that are crawling through states like Louisiana, Illinois, and North Carolina. They weren't drawn for fairness. They were drawn for control. Conservatives are arguing that Section 2 now violates the very Constitution that it was supposed to defend because it divides citizens by races and it gives certain groups guaranteed representation. That's not equality, folks. This is a quota system, and the Supreme Court already knows it. So by re-examining Section 2, they're not attacking civil rights. They're actually upholding them because civil rights actually means equal protection for everyone, not endless special treatment for political gain. So if that loophole collapses, well, I can go ahead and tell you right now, the Democrats' map machine goes right along with it. And so here's where the panic starts to set in because experts are estimating that this could wipe out as many as like 30 Democrat seats in the House. 30 seats, guys. Now think about that. Just for a second, okay? 30 seats gone. That's not a midterm swing. That is a total restructuring of power in Washington that we haven't seen in decades. Those race-engineered safe zones in Louisiana, Georgia, and Texas, they would be redrawn by population, not by politics. So this means very competitive districts, balanced representation, and no more automatic wins for the left. Now, Democrats, they have known that this was coming since the court took up the case against them last term. This is why cable networks are running democracy under attack headlines. They see the math because if this ruling lands early next year, I'm talking red states, they're going to have time to remap before the 2026 midterms. That will be a massive problem for the Democrats. Now, that is literally when the ground truly shifts and the age of racial gerrymandering would actually come to an end. So I want to zoom out just for a second because Louisiana is really not alone. In fact, think about it. You got Texas, Georgia, Alabama, even North Carolina. They are all watching this case like hawks. Why? Because if Section 2 gets clipped, then they would likely be the next in line to redraw their maps, free from the racial constraints that have tied their hands for decades. Now, Texas especially stands on the brink of a political reset. Its booming population, its shifting suburbs, those maps over there, they have been a battlefield for years. Now, Democrats poured millions of dollars into lawsuits just to kind of squeeze out a handful of blue states, just to squeeze out a few handful of blue seats. But when the ruling drops, it's over. It's over, Hova. So the Texas legislature, Republican run and Trump aligned, could finally design the districts based on pure population data and not on these racial checklists from Washington lawyers. And once Texas redraws, Louisiana follows, then Georgia, and then Florida. Let me know where you guys are watching from today. What state are you folks watching the show from? I want to hear from you guys. Now, each new map cuts deeper than that Democrat advantage, right up until the entire electoral landscape is flipped. Now, what we're talking about here is a once-in-a-generation red wave. I'm talking about a once-in-a-generation red wave that this is one that's built not on emotion, but on math. And trust me, guys, the Democrats already know this. Their reaction says it all. The moment the court agreed to rehear Louisiana's case, their panic button lit up. And suddenly, every network anchor was screaming about voter suppression and Jim Crow 2.0. Their strategy, it's very simple. Label everything racist. If they can't win the argument, then they're just going to smear the intention. Now, behind closed doors, panic has turned into fury. Leaked memos from party strategists warn of a catastrophic seat collapse if red states redraw maps by next summer. And this is a very real possibility. Let me tell you here, okay? They already know that they cannot stop it, but they will weaponize the fear, rallying donors, flooding social media, framing Trump's America First judiciary as a threat to democracy. It is the same tired playbook that they have used after the affirmative action ruling. Cry injustice, stoke division, and hope chaos slows the change. But this time, The court isn't backing down, and the countdown to map reform has already started. So now I want to talk about what's coming next, because the woke backlash is coming. Let me tell you right now, you can already hear it. I mean, they're saying that this ruling is racist, that it's going to erase the minority votes and the minority voices, that America is sliding backwards is what they're saying. But the truth, this is the final proof that the left has built its entire identity around victimhood. I mean, they can't survive without division. That is their key strategy, okay? Divide and conquer. So when you take away their racial talking points, the panic, because when you do that, they lose their favorite weapon. Now watch, mark my words, guys. Every pundit's going to scream that systemic racism is still everywhere. They're going to say that fairness itself is oppression. They'll claim that if every vote counts equally, somehow that's racist. Yeah, help me to make that make sense, right? Because the longer they can keep Americans fighting each other, the longer they can keep clinging to power. So this isn't about representation. This is about control, and it's always been about control. In fact, this ruling here exposes the one thing that they fear the most, an America that finally stops seeing race as destiny and it starts seeing the truth again. And so at the very center of that truth, you got President Donald J. Trump, because let's be real, guys, this didn't happen by accident. This is the Trump court at work, a judiciary shaped by constitutionalists who believe in equality under law, not endless racial engineering. And Trump's America First movement they've been saying this since day one. I mean, we judge people by merit, not color. We vote as citizens, not by categories. And now the philosophy is being written into the law of the land. Republicans are already moving to seize that momentum. The message is simple. Fairness isn't racist, it's patriotic. Expect Trump to frame this as the final correction to decades of Democrat manipulation. The ruling fits perfectly into his 2026 strategy. Restore election integrity, secure borders, secure ballots, and secure the maps. The left calls it regression. Patriots call it restoration. And this right here, guys, this is how the Trump revolution becomes permanent. And so at its core, this is a fight over what equality under the law really means. Now, for decades, Democrats argued that fairness required favoritism, that to fix past wrongs, the system had to be tilted forever in one direction. But the Constitution doesn't bend like that. In fact, it doesn't say equal protection for some. It says equal protection for all. Racial preference, no matter how noble it sounds, it's discrimination in disguise. It divides citizens into permanent categories of guilt and privilege, robbing us of the very unity that civil rights were meant to create. This ruling right here, it reclaims that moral ground. It says representation should be based on population, not on pigmentation. So it really kind of reminds us that justice isn't about balancing colors. It's about balancing rights. And so when the dust settles, history will remember this as the moment that America finally stopped apologizing for being equal. Now, this is why Democrats are terrified, because when fairness returns, their monopoly ends. Now, here's what to watch for in the coming months. Mark my words, guys. The court, they already heard the arguments this week. If the justices move fast, a final ruling could land somewhere between January and February of 2026, right in time for states to redraw their maps before the midterms. Now, once that happens, this is only a couple months away, guys. Once that happens, expect a wave of lawsuits from the left trying to delay implementation. They're going to cry chaos. They're going to demand emergency injunctions. But the truth is, time is not on their side. In fact, red states like Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, and Florida already have teams of cartoonographers and attorneys ready to go the second the ruling hits. So every day of delay costs Democrats even more ground. And if the ruling holds, we're looking at a seismic political shift that's heading into the 2026 election. I'm going to tell you right now, a Congress reshaped by population, not by partisanship. This is bigger than maps. This is the end of race-based politics as we've known it. And that, my friends, this is exactly why the panic in Washington tonight is very, very real. So like this video, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, is this the beginning of true equality under law, or is it the final unraveling of the Democrat machine? Either way, the tide just turned and America will never look the same.